What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're doing another tag. I decided I wanted to start another tag. I get very sporadical, I guess you could say, when it comes to the tag videos, and I'm in the mood to do another one. I was going to do this video, and I figured let's involve some other creators that might enjoy doing this. So I'll save the tags for at the end, but we're talking a fall fragrance starter pack. Now, there's no specific guidelines here. It's not about covering this part of the wardrobe and that part of the wardrobe. Just 5 of your personal favorites. What would you recommend to somebody? For those of you that are going to do this tag. For me, this is just 5 that I would recommend checking out this fall. If you've yet to get your nose on it, some of these, really, one has been around for a while, and I just think it's ideal for this season, even if you're not a huge fan of the DNA. And then a few that are newer. They've been around for just a few years, some really new, that are great for this season. Some are spicier than others, smoky, sweet, and so on. Just all of the nuances that I enjoy from a fragrance in the autumn season. So I've got 5 of them. Stay tuned. Starting with one that's relatively new to my collection, though not super new, because there's a flanker to this that's the newest release, but I feel like to enjoy the Elixir flanker, you should really start with Invictus Victory to see where it came from, because you do smell this in the Elixir. They stayed true to that olibanum, resinous frankincense, vanilla amber. It's just intensified and heavier overall, whereas here, there's still a little bit of the bubblegum sweetness that you expect from the original Invictus. You still get that. The signature DNA is still in this one, where it's very faint. It's really hard to tie it to the line outside of this one in particular with Victory Elixir. And admittedly, the first time I smelled this, I thought it was good, but not good enough for me to run out and get a bottle. As time has progressed, of course, I've found a love and an affinity for this fragrance, but it really speaks to the autumn season. It's a slightly heavier wear. It's not the best summer option. There's a lot of darker nuances. Like I said, ambery, warm, resinously smoky, a little bit of vanillic sweetness. A lot of things to really enjoy when it comes to the crisp weather of the fall season. Obviously, this is great in the evenings, but I think it does just as well during the day with great performance, which I know that's very important to a lot of people. I think the one was perfect to start with is Paco Rabanne's Invictus Victory. This next one is a polarizing DNA. Some people love this fragrance, regardless of age and situation. Some people can't stand it, or they think it's overhyped and things. But, you know, when it comes to Versace Eros, I think the best one for the base DNA is the Eau de Parfum. And I think the autumn season is the way to go. Now, I do prefer Flame the most, but the 3 main concentrations, EDP, EDT, the Parfum, the 3 main Eros, because they smell like Eros. I think this is the best of the bunch because you still get a lot of the freshness, that minty aromatic tone from the EDT, still very bright, with more of the amber and woods that you'll get from the Parfum, because it's really just an increase in oil concentration across the line with kind of a rejumbling of the notes, maybe a slight addition or slight subtraction. Here, it's the happy medium. It's long-lasting, it's loud and pronounced, and it pretty much just smells like a higher oil concentration of the EDT. Nice fruity, appley tone. Like I said, warm and ambery and woodsy. It's a beautiful fragrance. Admittedly, it's a little on the juvenile side. I get it. That's why I bring up ages when I talked about, the introduction segment of this fragrance in this video. It's lovely. It's not for everyone. I get it. But if you want something that you just don't have to think about, that stands a really good chance of getting you a nice compliment, because I know that's important to a lot of you that are watching this video right now. It's not the most important thing, but I would be lying if I said I didn't like getting a nice compliment on my fragrance. I mean, who wouldn't like being told they smell good if they like wearing fragrances? Let's call it what it is, right? And for this one, you get all the performance that most desire with all of the fresh mass appeal that would garner passers-by to potentially want to tell you smell good, or your girl, or your coworkers, your friends. You never know. But it's good stuff. It's a little too much for the summertime, but it's ideal for the fall. I think it's a good option to start with. It's Versace Eros Eau de Parfum. Now, realistically, you can wear this one year-round. This can be a signature scent if you like woody aromatic fragrances, really centrally focused on woods. There's other things going on, but it's all about cashmere wood and isoe super and things of that nature. But I really feel like the fall is ideal. Day or night, dressed up or dressed down, Dior Homme 2020, I think, is another great fragrance if we're talking starter pack for autumn. This one's going to be hard to kind of go against. It's just too easygoing and easy to wear. That took a little bit to get it to focus, but I really wanted to really highlight the beauty of this bottle. I've always loved the aesthetic and simplicity and somewhat nuanced look, because you have different things to really admire about the Dior Homme bottle, which the newest one, the interior of the cap's a little bit different from previous ones, but they always had that atomizer stem casing, and it's just a beautiful fragrance. Above average performance, not some kind of beast. Those timeless Dior atomizers, and a nice citrically fresh, slightly creamy, but soft, woody, and slightly warm nuance to this fragrance that's just so inviting. Modern man woody fragrance with, you know, modern synthetics. That's a thing, but it doesn't come across as too chemically synthetic to me. The first time I wore it, I was not a real fan because there's a lot of Isui Super on my skin. Over time, it did grow on me. Maybe I was just being a grizzled old frag head, mad that they took the iris out and reformulated it. Maybe there was a little bit of that playing into it, because I love the iris versions of Dior Homme that were released previously. But this is good stuff. There's no two ways about it. It's a great versatile option, especially in the autumn season. You're not going to spend a ton of money, and it's really hard not to like this one. This is another one that has a high probability of potentially getting you a nice compliment. But again, the main thing for me is its versatility, because it smells good when you're wearing a sleeveless shirt like I am. It doesn't smell too dressy, and it doesn't smell too casual if you're wearing a suit and tie. It doesn't smell not serious enough to go on a date. There's a sensual nature to it with this warm wood feel, and it's also not so seductive that you can't just wear it to work in an office environment. It truly is extremely versatile and great for this season. I couldn't help myself. I had to go with Dior Homme 2020. This next one is just a personal favorite of mine. I was so eager and excited to get my nose on this when it first got announced, and it was everything I hoped it would be and then some. I loved the cherry cola smell, the spiciness, sweetness, powderiness. I love everything about it. Mancera's Tonka Cola. I'm a huge fan of this one. This is top 5 Mancera for me, guys. Beast. I've gotten a bunch of compliments wearing this one, and it's an absolute beast. This is beautiful stuff. Like I said, one of the 5 best, for my taste and in my opinion, that Pierre Montal has created for his Mancera brand. I love it so much. It has this cherry note that I do get for a good bit. I've had some people tell me they don't get much. It kind of fleets, comes and goes, whereas it sticks around for a good 2 hours or so, roughly. I get a lot of cherry. The cola accord that they have, vibrant, warm, and spicy, kind of gives off a little bit of that carbonated feeling that you would expect with picture cherry Coke, basically. That's kind of what it replicates. A crisp, freshly opened can of cherry Coke, when it's got all of that heightened carbonation. You can kind of substitute that with some of the bright spiciness that you get here. And then this lovely tonka bean sweetness that offers a nice powdery nature, but without it being too powdery as it dries. It's warm, it's rich, it's a little resinous and ambery. Beautiful fragrance. Beautiful. Perfectly unisex, though. It does lean on the masculine side, ladies that may be potentially watching this video. Keep that in mind. But I think anybody that likes a cherry cola smell, it'd be hard for you to not like this. Or if you like nice and spicy, slightly powdery fragrances, you'll probably like this. Absolutely worth getting your nose on this particular fall. I think it was an ideal choice for this group of 5. Again, that's Mancera. This is Tonka Cola. Last but not least, though it's not necessarily my favorite in the line, its previous version technically is, but they kind of run a race. You can't go wrong with either. This is a beautiful evening wear for most people, but I think it's great in the daytime. It's got this fiery, burning wood type of smell with the sweetness and the spice. Great performance. It is Azzaro's The Most Wanted Parfum. This is another one that is just hard to not like. This is such a good fragrance. There's a lot of people that will call this their favorite in the line, and I totally understand why. Like I said previously, The Most Wanted was, depends on which day you ask me, is or was my favorite in the line, because this is really, really good stuff. Beautiful, ties into the line. Like I said, there's more of this burning woods type of accord versus just the toffeed sweetness and warm spice of the previous version, because you still get all of that, but this is a bit more fresh and aromatic overall. But like I said, still has that burning wood smell to it. Really, really good stuff. Super mass appealing. Another great compliment getter for those of you that are into that kind of thing. Across this line, we're talking compliment getters here. That is the theme. And again, nothing's guaranteed with any of these, but the probability is definitely heightened when you're coming across these just so easy to like, fun wearing fragrances. They're just a fun wear for me personally, as the wearer with living in this sillage, as I like to call it, because that's what's going to happen in your wearing experience, whether it's for 30 minutes, as some people like to comically say about fragrances on the internet, or 12 hours of your day. You're going to be living in that sillage for that particular time, so you might as well enjoy it. It might as well be something that you really like to smell, and I can't imagine too many people not really enjoying the way this smells. Built for the fall season, in my opinion, is Azzaro, the most wanted parfum. Well, that's my 5 picks. So, fall fragrance starter kit for compliments. Who am I going to tag? I'm thinking my main man, Fragrance Fraternity. He's a newer channel, creating great content. He's actually one of my channel members. He's a regular here in my live chats, on my live streams. So, Fragrance Fraternity, you are tagged. Razor Ramon the Barber, my guy. I know he'll enjoy doing this one. So, my man, you're tagged as well. Because last time I tagged Dedrick and Randy, so I wanted to switch it up this time. And then on top of that, we're going to tag somebody on TikTok that's another avid supporter of the channel. I always say it wrong. So I never pronounce his name right at all whatsoever. My man, you're tagged. I'm not even going to try to butcher it, but my man, you're tagged. Great content on TikTok. Make sure to follow him if you're not following him, guys. But you're tagged, my man. I don't know his actual name, just through random messages and stuff like that. He tends to do the tags when I do them, and he likes a lot of my content. So I appreciate you. Let me know. How do you pronounce that? So you're tagged as well. We're going to try something different and tag somebody on TikTok. But until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. Anybody else that sees this and wants to do this tag, by all means, have at it. Have some fun with it. Let me know that you did it, because I'd love to check out your take on it and which 5 you ended up picking. And until next time, I will say, if you do actually get your hands on any of the 5 that I picked and you give them a spray now, pretty good chance you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.